Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I wanted to make this kind of video regarding Mikheil Saakashvili, the former president of the country of Georgia, for a long time, and I didn't find the right time. I think right now it is the right time and the right mood for me to make this video. I want to make this video on Saakashvili not only because I think is a weasel, just to start with where I'm standing at, but because I know certain things from my direct experience with certain kind of people who somehow from their own countries receive some scholarships or fellowships in the West, and then the next day after they come back in their country, immediately they are shooting up in politics and become presidents and very important persons in the political sphere, just like that. I know a few examples from Romania, and here we have Saakashvili. So on the, how should I put it, straight, right? On the basis of the two articles I'm going to read for you, I'm not going to read the entire articles, I'm just going to read like two or three paragraphs and their titles. Then I will go over Mr. Saakashvili's biography. And I will show to you how Mr. Saakashvili is a butterfly, flying from one to another, or you can call him a lady of the night, which he's going to be by whomever pays more. And I'm going to show him. And how these guys are looking at Saakashvili. And basically, I'm going to show you from my perspective who Saakashvili is. Alright, let's go with the first article. This article came yesterday and from Ukrainska Pravda. Zelensky explains how Ukraine will respond to Georgia's trial over Ukrainian citizen Mikheil Saakashvili. Now, Mikheil was the president of Georgia, and he's a Ukrainian citizen. He's also, I think, a Dutch citizen. I will go into that as well. So, Mr. Saakashvili is imprisoned in his country, Georgia, because he committed, according to the investigation and the court proceedings, to certain crimes, committing certain crimes. I know that Mr. Saakashvili started some protesting by going into hunger, strike. And now he is very bad physically. He is in a medical facility in Georgia. And now we have Zelensky and others calling somehow for Saakashvili to be deported to Ukraine because he looks so bad. I will make analogies with a person that, let's say, raped someone, let's say, is in jail, goes into a hunger strike, and some of his family claim, hey, wait a minute, look at him, why don't we release him? What would you say if, let's say, you were the rape victim? Would you agree with that? Just because he got in a hunger strike, he would be out of the jail and sent to his family, and it's going to be like a house arrest? No. No. If I would be part of the family of the victim, and not even that, but I'm sending it to extremes, so you can see how idiotic this is. So let's go further here and read the first paragraph. Zelensky has expressed outrage at the state of the former president of Georgia, Mikheil Saakashvili, now Ukrainian citizen, and he was a Ukrainian citizen, then he wasn't, and he was again. So he was given Ukrainian citizenship overnight by Poroshenko, the former Ukrainian president after the coup, 2015. He was given that, and then Saakashvili was appointed a governor of an Ukrainian oblast. Remember, he was the Georgian citizen. Then he renounced to his Georgian citizenship. He became only Ukrainian. Then he said certain things bad about Poroshenko, and then he was a citizen-less individual with no citizenship because Poroshenko revoked his Ukrainian citizenship. So he was not Ukrainian anymore, he was not Georgian anymore. So all of a sudden, somehow, the Netherlands gave him citizenship, just like that. So that makes you think by that if you want to be a Dutch citizen, you can just be. They give it to you overnight. Or if you want to be a Ukrainian citizen, you just are, because Poroshenko the president. And then Zelensky reinstituted this guy's citizenship as Ukrainian. That's how it works. So he was Georgian, went to the United States, came back, became president in about a year or two or so, or maybe more. I will go over that. Then he was accused of committing some abuses and was involved in some beatings and some alleged crimes and so on. He fled to Ukraine, became a citizen the next day or so by Poroshenko. He said some dumb shit about Poroshenko. Poroshenko said, okay, now you got to go. No more Ukrainian citizen. Revoked it. He fled. He didn't have Georgian citizenship anymore. He didn't have Ukrainian citizenship anymore. And the Netherlands just gave him citizenship like that. Then Zelensky came into power, gave Saakashvili Ukrainian citizenship. I don't know why, just like that. He tried to enter illegally into his own country, Georgia. He was arrested, put on trial, and then now that's where he is at. So this is in a big thing, big picture. Just so you know what's going on here. So who is currently imprisoned in Georgia? That sounds very bad, right? Not that he's serving a sentence. Zelensky announced that Ukraine will summon the Georgian ambassador to Ukraine and ask him to leave. Okay. It says Russia is killing Ukrainian citizen Mikheil Saakashvili at the hands of Georgian authorities. That's what he says it. Okay. Let's see this. This is from Ukrainska Pravda. This is from today. So, due to Saakashvili's condition, Ukrainian foreign ministry sent Georgian ambassador off to Tbilisi. So they said what this guy said before, right? We're going to send him back. And they did. This is Saakashvili. Looks awful. But if this would be the rapist of my daughter, I don't really give a shit how he looks. You got that? Okay. Just so you know. So this is not an argument. Well, I'm like this. Well, you rape my child. Or you abuse my... No, I don't give a... Just to put it this way. So this is what it is here. They sent him back. And let's go now over Saakashvili. Right? I just got some things already for you. Saakashvili is a Georgian and Ukrainian politician. He was the third president of Georgia for 2 consecutive terms. All right, in 2004 until 2013. He did not immediately become a president. I will tell you. From May 2015 until November 2016, Saakashvili was the governor of Ukraine's Odessa Oblast. That's because Poroshenko gave him that little thing. Now, Saakashvili entered Georgian politics in 1995. Please remember that date, 1995. He served as a member of the parliament and minister of justice under the president Eduard Shevardnadze. 1995. Okay? So let's see. He was born in 67, 77, 87, 97. So at 20, about what? 27, about 28, he served as a member of the parliament. You're going to see how he's got. Now, he says here, in 2003, Saakashvili became a leading opposition figure who accused the government of rigging the 2003 Georgian parliamentary election, spearheading mass protests, which saw President Shevardnadze resign from his post in the bloodless Rose Revolution. Saakashvili's role in the protest led him to being elected as the president in 2004. Remember 1995? I think he returned from the United States in 1994 or 1995. We're going to go over that. So from there to 2004, he's got to be the president. After the 2003, how do you call it? Rose Revolution. Okay? It's just coincidences. So let's go here. Saakashvili was embroiled in a number of scandals, the most important ones relating to the beating of an opposition politician, Valery Galashvili, and the murder of Sandro Grivliani. In September 2012, the leaked video footage of systemic torture and rape in the Georgian prison system came to light during the Gladani prison scandal. Saakashvili was accused of being behind the inhumane treatment of inmates and police brutality. Right? This is in 2012. Shortly after the 2013 presidential election, Saakashvili left Georgia, fled, because he was afraid he would be obviously indicted and maybe, In 2014, the prosecutor's office of Georgia filed criminal charges against Saakashvili. In 2018, the Tbilisi city court sentenced him in absentia for 6 years in prison for ordering the beating of Valery Galeshvili and pardoning in prior agreement the individuals tried for Sandro Grivliani murder. Saakashvili continued to manage his party from abroad while accusing the Georgian government of using the legal system as a tool of political retribution. Now, he's not, as these guys are saying here, a prisoner, which he is, or imprisoned. Now you know why he is imprisoned. Now, how he got over there? He entered illegally in the country. So, Saakashvili supports Ukraine's Euromaidan movement and the revolution of dignity in Ukraine. Remember, on 30th of May 2015, Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko appointed Saakashvili as government of Odessa Oblast. So in 2015, he was appointed. He left his country in 2013, right? He left it. In 2015, he all of a sudden became Ukrainian president, just appointed governor of an oblast in Ukraine, just like that. He was also granted Ukrainian citizenship, and due to restriction and dual nationality under Georgian law, was stripped of his Georgian citizenship. So you want to be Ukrainian, that's our law. I know the Greeks had this and many other countries. On 7 November 2016, Saakashvili resigned as governor of Odessa Oblast, blaming Poroshenko personally for enabling corruption in Odessa. Probably he didn't get what he wanted, and Ukraine overall. 4 days later, he announced his goal to create a new political party. On 2017, Saakashvili, at the time staying in the US, how is he staying in the US? Was stripped of his Ukrainian citizenship by Petro Poroshenko. You can just live in the United States if you have an Ukrainian citizenship. Ask the Ukrainians if they can just go to the United States just like that and live over there. Okay, and became stateless person. He re-entered Ukraine with a group of supporters through Poland, but was arrested in February 2018 and deported. Saakashvili moved to the Netherlands. I know, where was he deported? He didn't have any... Where was he deported? He didn't have any... he was a stateless person. He moved to Netherlands, where he was granted permanent residency, just like that. And then he says in 2019, I thought he was Netherlands citizenship, but permanent residency leads to that. In 2019, he returned to Ukraine after newly elected Zelensky, who restored his citizenship. In 2021, Saakashvili announced via Facebook his return to Georgia. He didn't have the citizenship of Georgia. He wasn't a citizen. And an 8-year absence on the eve of local elections. Later on the same day, Prime Minister of Georgia held a press briefing announcing that Saakashvili was arrested in Tbilisi. According to investigations, Saakashvili entered the country secretly. Now you do this in any normal country and see what happens. Hiding in the semi-trailer truck loaded with milk products. Embarrassing. He illegally crossed the state border of Georgia. Correct? Correct. True? True. According to these guys, right? Bypassing the customs control. He was placed in number 12 penitentiary facility in Rustavi. President of Georgia, Salome Papapap, stated that she would never pardon Saakashvili. So this is what happened with this guy. Let's go to his early life and education. So his mother was a historian who lectured at Tbilisi State University. Very good. During university, he served as in the military. Okay, and then Saakashvili graduated from the Institute of International Relations, Department of International Law of the Taras Shevchenko National University in Kiev. So he was in Ukraine. at that time, but at that time it was Soviet Union, so it was different, I think, right? In the independent Ukraine. Okay, he was an international student, I take it. In 1992, yes, at this university, he was friends with later President Ukraine Petro Poroshenko. What a coincidence! The guy that is going to give him the Ukrainian citizenship. Isn't that corruption? No. While in Ukraine, Saakashvili participated in the October 1990 student protest known as the Revolution of Granite. Whatever. Now, well, let's go here. It says here, Saakashvili briefly worked as a human rights officer for the Interim State Council of Georgia following the overthrow of President Paparapa before receiving a fellowship. He received a fellowship from the United States Department. Oh my! How many and who received? This is what I know. I know in Romania, when you receive a fellowship or many other things like this, you sometimes are part of a little, how do you call it? Not association, agency. All right, so he was over there via the Edmund S. Muskie Graduate Fellowship Program. He received blah, blah, blah from Columbia Law School. Very good, a master degree, I'm guessing, right? Yeah, a Master's of Laws. In 1994, right, he took classes at the School of International and Public Affairs and the George Washington University Law School. The following year, 1995, remember, I told you 1995, he also received a diploma from the International Institute of Human Rights in Strasbourg, Paris, France. So what does that tell you? And then look what happened here. So he in 1994 was still at Columbia, 1995, and then look what happened here. Saakashvili interned at the United Nations. Man, a lot of doors were open for this guy. Or, if you want to be naive, well, he was just so potent and able. After graduation, while on internship in the New York law firm of Patterson Bababababu in the early 1995, he was approached by Zurab Zavania, an old friend. Again, these guys are everywhere. How many old friends came and contacted you, my friends? Look at this weasel. Anyway, from Georgia, who was working on behalf of President Eduard Shevardnadze to enter politics. So he had to, man. He was just dragged in 1995, as I said, at 28 years old, to work for Shevardnadze, where he stood in the December 1995 elections along with Zavania, and both men won the seats in parliament. Wow! Wow! Can you imagine that? So in 1995, he was still in America, 1994, 1995, and then in 1996, he was elected, actually 1995 December. Man, this guy shoot up so, because he's such an intelligent and fantastic guy. I don't believe that squat. And then standing for the Union of Citizens of Saakashvili was chairman of the Parliamentary Committee at 27, which was in charge of creating a new electoral system, and then guess what he did? In 2000, Saakashvili became Minister of Justice for the government of President Shevardnadze. In 2000, as again, what was his date of birth? 65 or something? Where is it at the beginning? Where is it? Right here. 67, 77, 87, 97. Right? At 33 years old, he was appointed, there's an appointment, appointed as, where are you? Right here. Minister of Justice for the government of Shevardnadze. Wow. He must be a genius. He initiated Saakashvili resigned on 5 September 2021 saying, I consider it immoral for me to remain as a member of Shevardnadze's government. He has a lot of, principles and ethics. You believe that? And then guess what? He got elected, right? In June 2002, he was elected as a chairman of the Tbilisi Assembly, following an agreement between the United Nations movement and the Georgian and then presidential elections in 2003. He was elected president. So in 1995, he was still in the United States of America. In 2003, he became the president, right? Is that what it is? Well, you take it however naively you want to take it. I take it the way I know I should take certain things. This guy is a beautiful asset of some outside interest outside of Georgia. And he is arrested, and he is where he is right now, not because he was just a beautiful guy, but he, when he was a president, and not only did certain hanky-panky, and now he's doing a hunger strike, and we should all feel sorry for him. No. I don't feel sorry for him, and he's in a medical facility. If you choose not to eat, don't eat. Bye-bye. I remember it was a Palestinian, was it a Palestinian? I think it was a Palestinian in an Israeli prison that, again, he died maybe 2 months ago. I wanted to make a video on that, but I said, you know what I mean. Anyway, and he died. Anybody was, okay, all right. But now, oh my God, we send the ambassador back. Why is all this? Why did Zelensky award this guy, granted him the citizenship just like this? It doesn't happen to you. I mean, there are rules and regulations. Unless you bypass, you cross some lines, some doors are open. These guys, when you see some like this that are shooting up like crazy in their lives, always see who opened the doors, who was behind, who sponsored him, who knew who. I mean, I do not want to discard that he is a smart guy, which I don't know if he is. I don't want to discard the fact that he might be, very, sneaky and all that. Might be. But I'm 99% certain, by my previous experience and knowledge that I have, that this guy did not do that on his own. And, not in this kind of connections. He got a fellowship by the Secretary of State of the US. It's just because he was so smart. I know cases in Romania where you have the same thing. Went to France, came back, and then they became, was it the Prime Minister? Adrian Năstase, was he the Prime Minister in the 1990s? Something like that. Again, I think the guy had some scholarship in France, if I remember correctly. It doesn't mean that he was on anybody's payroll, but he's only one example that I kind of know, and so on. So this is Saakashvili. No tears for him I will shed. Did you like my words? I picked the words, I like this and then. No tears for Saakashvili I will shed. All right, or whatever I said. So here is with Saakashvili. If that doesn't stink as being a guy on other agencies' payroll and doors opened, whenever you see such a young, fantastic person promoted at such a position, look at the Baerbock of Germany for a minister, 41, 42. Do you really think that Germany doesn't have a 65-year-old guy who really was involved in diplomacy? Has that little piece of, really? In Germany? I don't think so. I can give you examples one after another. I know another example in Romania. Maybe I can't remember how many years ago. 10 years ago, under the president Băsescu. He got the prime minister, the weasel, another weasel. He was interviewed. It's online. He was interviewing the new finance minister. She had a PhD in the United States of America, and she was just catapulted in Romania to be the finance minister or something like this. And again, she was like 27 or something, around that age, and she was catapulted to be the minister right there. And I was really? It's an interview over there, just watch it. Is Ponta, not Ponta, I can't remember that weasel, I think it's Ponta, but it doesn't matter. Is this guy interviewing and talking with her and the other weasel. Unbelievable. So, just observing, memorizing, and seeing a pattern, and knowing how things work actually. It was this, if you would go overseas, and you go over there, you're usually being taken by the other services over there. When you come back, you would be their guy. Or double agent. You go over there, pretend you're this, they take you, they send you back, you come back as the agent that you were, but they don't know you were that agent. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It's so much to say. Because if you know, then, I don't know, you can make all kind of connections. You understand certain things. I'm not saying I'm a genius, he's right there. You just have to read it. You just have to read it and put it in the context of our losers' lives. Oh my God, man, Saakashvili must be such a potent, and I'm such a loser, man. No, that's not the point. That's not what it is. You gave your life to certain big interests, and they opened doors for you. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.